Hi, my beautiful friends. Welcome to my channel, Tropical Empress in Spirit. My name is Amanda. Hello, how are y'all? I hope everyone's doing well today. I wanted to get into a topic that I have been asked about, and I have said that I would, make a future video of it. I mean, there's several things I still want to talk about that I said I'll create a video at some point, but I feel like, there's a couple of things that really just hit me hard in my heart when I've read questions on other social media platforms, where people have asked me, questions and asked me to answer them. And one of those questions that I was asked is, why doesn't our family members not protect us from evil entities or demons? And, that really took me back because I felt sadness for this person who was asking me that, to feel that, they're not, being watched out, or watched over by, whether it's your loved ones, your, guardian angels, spirit guides, or if you believe in a god or a deity, anything like that. It really just hit me, hard. And when I had answered this question on this other platform, it was right before I had surgery or right after. I think it was right after. So, it took me a long time to type out my answer, just having, rotator cuff surgery. So, and I tried to, describe it as best I could, but I also feel like I probably could have said more. And, I probably should have gone back and said more, but I also realized that I also had kind of added to it in other questions that had been asked of me. And the question that was asked is exactly the question I just said, how come our loved ones, how come they don't protect us, from evil entities or demons? And I guess it depends on how you look at it, because from my perspective, and my beliefs and what I know is that you got to look at your loved ones like you and me. We're human spirits. We've, been to this world, multiple times over, to where, like, the people, the ones that are supposed to protect us from, evil are the guardian angels, the archangels. And, like I said, if you believe in a God. And so it's kind of both from my perspective. I've had, a few experiences where I've encountered angels, but I've also encountered, you know, evil and demons. And I've also had it where my loved ones did step in and, at the minimum, warn me. And so I kind of want to cover a couple, a little bit about that, and also go into one of the times where I had an angel protect me. So I want to start with my loved ones protecting me, though, first. There was a day that I was at home. It was like early afternoon, and I had just got home. I had, been out all day running errands, taking care of things, and I was tired. I don't think I slept well the night before because I had played in a pool tournament over the weekend, and it was a 3-day tournament. So I ended up, just being tired still from that, 3-day tournament. And so after I was done running those errands that Monday, I came home and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go lay down and take a nap. And I went and lay down, and as soon as I, walked upstairs, before I could hit my head on that pillow, I felt a presence in the room with me. And I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything, but I felt something there. And I even turned and looked because I knew exactly where this spirit was, in my bedroom. And, I just told him, I'm like, listen, I'm not in the mood. I'm tired. Please leave me alone. Go away, kind of thing. And so I proceeded to hit my head on the pillow, and closed my eyes. Not even a minute later, after I close my eyes, I get an image that comes across in my head, almost like looking at a screen that has lettering typed up. And the word that was typed up that I saw was Warla, Warla. And I'm like, Warla, what? And it startled me. And I woke up and sat up in bed. I'm like, what? Warla? Like, I don't understand. What is this supposed to mean? And instead of, laying back down, going to sleep, I mean, it just, you could say it startled me awake. I couldn't go to sleep then. And I had walked downstairs and I told my husband what had happened, and he's like, well, let me, talk to someone and see what their thoughts are. And back then, my husband was on social media and talking to people who were like me, as he had grown a great interest and curiosity into the spiritual psychic realm, and to be more supportive of me, but also just to cure his curiosity. And so I guess there was someone he had talked to back and forth over some time, and had told her what happened. And she immediately said that she knows that word, and she said that she also understands that the country she comes from, and I think it's somewhere in Asia, that it's like from a city that she knows. And in her country, she said that they tend to use like English words and put an LA at the end of it. So what she was saying to him is, in short, what they were saying to me is war. Okay, what does that mean? I don't understand this. And when my husband's telling me this, it's like, I don't understand. And, what she told him to tell me is to tell them, that they need to leave the house, and send them off with love and light, and to light a candle and blow it out. And so they go. She felt like it could have been like some kind of deity of her country, in that there had to be someone that lived in our neighborhood, but more closely on our street, who had this deity, was, worshiping this deity. And this deity, went to their house, but because of me having psychic abilities and being in tune, that, I'm like a lighthouse to them, and they came to our house to see me, and knowing that I would see them, or I would at least be aware of them. And so, she felt like, it could have been either they were warning me that something was coming, or that they were at war with me, like a spiritual war of some kind. And it's like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And so it was later on that night, I didn't know what to do yet. I was still trying to process it all. Later on that night, I see what looks like a black figure floating in the air, but it wasn't like a figure of like a ghost. It was like, it looked like a silk scarf, and it was just kind of like gliding in the air. And I'm just like, no, no, okay, I'm done. I've had it. I don't want this in my house. So I decided, I didn't like the candle, but I decided, I'm going to tell this thing to get out. And so that's what I did. I said, okay, you're not welcome here anymore. You need to leave my house, and you need to get out right now. And I'm telling you to get out now. In Jesus Christ's name, I rebuke you. Get out. And as soon as I said that, I see 3 spirit orbs appear to the left of me. That was purple, gold, and blue. And I knew right then that that was my loved ones and my guardian angel stepping in to help me to get rid of this entity. And as soon as I saw them, I felt that presence gone. They left. They were gone. Thank you, God, because I was scared, obviously. So that's one of the times that I know that my loved ones and my guardian angel stepped up to help me. And what I want you to know is that, you know, we all have this idea and we think that we shouldn't have to ask our loved ones for help, you know, especially something like that. But what I want y'all to know is that's exactly what you have to do. You have to ask them for help because you got to understand they're in the spirit world. We're here in the physical plane and we still have free will. So they have to be invited in to step up and defend us, is the way I've come to understand it. And so if you've ever doubted or wondered or felt like maybe your loved ones aren't looking out for you, you know, I want you to know that you would be right and wrong at the same time. Because what I want you to understand is because of us and our ego, we tend to ignore that little voice in the back of our head, or, you know, that just comes from here, you know, or like our gut instinct that's telling us not to do this or not to do that or not go here, not go there, or not allow this person close to us or invite them over to our house, those kinds of things. But we are, you know, human, and we also have that capacity of saying, well, we just met that person, so we got to give them a chance. We don't know anything about them. It's wrong to judge them. And yes, you are right. However, what I want you to understand is that little voice that you're getting in the back of your head that's telling you don't trust that person, don't have them in your house, and so on, that's coming from your loved ones. That's coming from your spirit guides. That's coming from your guardian angels that is telling you not to do this and not to do that. So it means that we have to tell our ego to hush up and, you know, ignore this side of our brain, which is where our ego comes from, and, you know, tune in more of this side and also to the voices in the back of our head. That, you know, that little voice that's saying, you know, don't do this. And what I also want you to understand is that when we have like evil entities or demons that end up coming around us, sometimes that happens by out of innocence. And what I mean by that is you go through and you just meet someone, you know, you just meet them, like say your son plays baseball and you meet all the parents because their, you know, son is playing baseball with your son, and you become close, you hit it off with this, you know, one woman, we'll just say, and you strike up a good, you know, friendship, you know, just having sons playing together, and, you know, you're both there watching them play or watching, you know, they're there, you're there at their practice, whatever. And so because you hit it off so well, that friendship grows outside of your son's ball, and you want to, you know, like, let's hang out, you know, or why don't you bring your son over to our house and our sons can play together and you and I can sit down and, you know, talk and, you know, have some laughs and, you know, maybe even have a glass of wine or something. And what you may not have known is that that friend, not that there's anything wrong with them, and please understand me, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. What I'm saying is possibly your friend may have just gone through a really tough hardship just months earlier. And they've just been in that low vibrational energy. And whenever you're in that low vibrational energy, you attract low vibrational spirits, entities who will attach themselves to you. And so, whether your friend knew it or not, you know, they ended up inviting that evil spirit to them who's hanging around them. They may not even be aware of it, but that's what's happened. So the moment you invite that friend over to your house, of course, that evil entity is with them. Once they walk into your house, you just invited that demon into your house, whether you realized it or not. So it can happen just out of pure innocence, just not knowing. And, or let's just say that, you know, I'll just use me as an example. Since I just, you know, moved into a new house, you know, I still have to buy a fridge. So let's just say for, you know, example, I already bought the fridge and I'm having it delivered to my house. Well, the guy that's delivering it to my house, may have some demons. Maybe they're an alcoholic. And so they may, be responsible and, be able to hold down a full-time job. And when they're not working, they go home and drink themselves, to sleep. And because of that addiction, that's also bringing in those low vibrational entities to you. And just simply by having him be the person who's going to deliver my fridge and then allowing him into my house to install my fridge and connect and this and that, I just allowed that dark energy connect to him into my home. So that's how easy it can happen. So please do not think that, you missed something, that, you didn't listen to your loved ones and all that, because it's not always black and white like that either. That's another way that evil entities can attach themselves to you. Or it can even happen you just going out to dinner with your spouse, your family. And just by being in that restaurant that you all are having dinner at, that someone else there in your group, or even someone sitting at a table, down from your table, has an evil entity attached to them. And they see you, that evil entity, it is attracted to you because you have a shot, your soul shines brighter. And what evil entities like to do is they like to suck the life force out of you, suck that light out of you, because they are being shunned out of God's grace. If you believe in God, they're being shunned out of heaven because they, didn't do right. They're evil at their core, so God's not allowing them through heaven's gate. And because of that, they want to take that away from you too and make your life miserable. So you end up doing something that makes you not be in God's grace. God's good graces for that day when it's time for you to meet him and go to heaven. So that's many of the reasons why that it can happen. So I always try and tell people to always protect your energy and just be aware, and be aware of that inner voice when it's telling you something. Trust it, because that's more like your intuition telling you not to trust that person. And understand that I also understand that there are certain times that you have no control over it. Like, say, at your job, you may have someone there who's, has a negative energy attached to it, and there they just hitch a ride with you and come home with you. So I understand that, there's a number of different ways this can happen. And all you can do is put up protection to protect yourself so it doesn't attach to you. Or, like I said, even ask your loved ones and ask your spirit guides and ask your guardian angels to go with you wherever you go. If, no matter where that is. If you want to go out to eat with your family or friends, ask them to tag along, to be there with you. If you want to go shopping with your girlfriends, ask them to tag along, and they will. But you got to ask and invite them to. That's what you got to understand and remember. And it's not to say that your family, your loved ones aren't, only around when you ask them to, but you also have to understand that there are other loved ones here on the physical plane along with you. So they're trying to be there for everyone who's still here. They're, watching, like a blink in an eye. They can be with you 1 second, and next second they can go and see your brother or sister, as an example. So that's just something that you may want to just think about. And look at, as I've said in other videos, psychic shielding. That's good for anyone, just to help protect your energy in that way. So I wanted to answer it that way, but I also want to tell a couple more stories to go along with this. I went through one night, I had gone to sleep. In fact, I think I fell asleep. I didn't think I was going to fall asleep, but I did. with the TV on, which is not like me. I'm not that type of person that can fall asleep with TV on. Music's one thing, TV, not so much. And it's rare that I can even fall asleep with the light on. So I must have been really tired that night to fall asleep. And when I went to sleep, I ended up being in a dream where I found that I was in like an underground dojo. And it kind of gave me the feel of like Mortal Kombat, if you've ever seen that movie, or maybe, you know someone who plays that game. It kind of gave me that feel. And, when I'm aware in my dream, I'm looking around trying to figure out where I'm at. And as I'm looking around, taking in, my surroundings, from behind me, I get hit. And I'm like shocked. So I turn around and see who it is. And there's a guy standing there trying to hurt me and is, attacking me, that I don't know who this person is. I've never seen him before. And I'm trying to figure out, why is he attacking me? And as I'm standing there trying to defend myself, I also get bit by a snake that appears out of nowhere. And, and I remember it felt painful. I remember feeling that pain. But I just kept fighting. I didn't allow that bite to, like, take me down. I was going to fight. And after that snake bit me, I overhear my mom's voice. Like, almost like, she was talking to me through a speaker, like an intercom. And that's all it took for me to hear her voice, for me to know what exactly was going on. And what I knew was happening was I was under a spiritual attack by an evil entity that was trying to hurt me. And of course, my mama couldn't do nothing because she's a human spirit. She's not an angel. So once I realized this, all I said was, all right, you know, I rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name. I rebuke you. And as soon as I said that, I was free from that dream and I woke up. So that's another time that, my loved ones stepped in and at least warned me when I listened. And because I was aware in my dream of what, was going on, and kind of already, like, I knew without knowing kind of deal, I was able to help myself. But, only because I heard my mama's voice is what made me understand to the realization what was going on. And that was like many years ago when I had that dream. So, and then I wanted to share with you about one of my angel encounters I've had. Um, this was one afternoon. I had just got home from going out somewhere, and I don't know if I was just really tired, like I didn't sleep well the night before or something like that, but I just felt like I needed to just take a, quick nap before I had to get up and do something, get dinner ready and so on before my husband got home from work. And as soon as I went, laid my head down and closed my eyes, before I even fell asleep, I hear a noise, and I'm home alone. So I hear a noise that I didn't understand. It's like, what's causing that noise knowing I'm home alone? So I decided to sit up and look around to see what that noise was coming from. And to my surprise, there's an angel standing at the foot of my bed. And I'm just like, and I'm just in awe of what I'm seeing. And this is not the first time I've seen an angel, but it still left me in awe. Kind of left me in speechless, because I'm trying to figure out again. Seeing an angel one time, that's a blessing in itself for me. And I've heard that to be visited by angels and to actually see them, specifically see them, that's rare. So, to already experience it once before, that was a huge blessing by itself for me. So, to ever think that it would ever happen again, I never thought it would happen again. But here I was, this angel was standing at the foot of my bed. And I'm just, looking at him, and, he's gorgeous. He has these big muscles, and I see like some metal, like how they did back in the ancient times, where they cover like part of their arm to protect them. And he's in a like a white robe draped type like, and has big white wings that I can clearly see on the back of him. And what I realized at that moment, that the noise I heard was him pretty much landing in my house at the foot of my bed as he was closing his wings. That's what I come to realize. That was the noise I heard. So after, like, a few seconds had passed and I'm digesting what I'm looking at, before I can even open my mouth to ask him, what his name was, what messages did he have for me, why was he there? He suddenly turns to look to the left, like towards my window to the front of the house. And then I see him reach down in his waistband and pulls out a sword. And I'm like, and then, I'm looking like he starts walking toward charging forward, and I'm looking to see what he's looking at. And before I can even get a good look of what was over there, he opened his wings to block my view. So I didn't get to see what it was. But I think any of us can, come to the conclusion what was there was a demon, an evil entity that shouldn't have been there. So I was being protected that day. And I was so thankful. And I thank God, and because I couldn't see what the angel was fighting, and I'm not saying I wanted to see it either, to be honest. And because his wings had blocked my view, I just decided, well, I'm tired, Obviously, I'm safe. This angel's not going to let anything bad happen to me. So, I just thank God, and I decided to lay my head down and go to sleep. And when I woke up from my nap a couple out, an hour later or so, I thought about it, running it through my mind again, what just happened earlier, and still in awe, and I'm still amazed by it all, the whole experience, happening again, and, just realizing that, you know, why was that demon there? Did something come home with me that I didn't realize? Or could the other reason be that I didn't say my prayers before I went to sleep? That was the other thought that crossed my mind of why this happened. And that's another thing I want you all to understand is protect your dreams, okay? Whether you believe in a God or you believe in archangels or a different deity, whatever it is, I'm asking you to make sure you say to them before you go to sleep, ask for love and protection to seal your dreams. Because if not, you are opening that door to anything evil coming into your dreams. Because what you got to understand is that's when we are most vulnerable. When, something can attack us like that, as I come to learn, And yeah, it scared me. I mean, I'm glad I didn't see what that evil thing was, but just knowing that I knew what it was without having to see it scared me enough. But I'm also thankful that I got to see a real life angel, a full body apparition of an angel right there at the foot of my bed. And, I was blessed, extremely blessed, very thankful, thanking God, thanking the angel, just everything. I just felt just so much love, and that true unconditional love of, angels are watching over me. And I remember I even told my husband about it after I woke up from the nap, and he believes me, and he's like, you know what, I think that's great. It's great to know that angels are here watching over us and protecting us. I said, yes, it is. And, it helped deepen my faith even more into, God and angels. And I'm incredibly blessed to have had that experience, but that not be my only experience, but it's one of a few experiences that I've had over the years. And I learned that the reason why I have I'm able to see angels is because of my psychic abilities for one, but there's even a religious reason behind it, but I'll share that in a future video when I tell y'all about some of my other experiences that I've had. And either way, whether it's my psychic abilities, as people will say to me, I'm like the high priestess because I'm a Pisces, and since I was very young, 6, 7 years old, I've always been aware since then that, whether I understood it back then at that young age or not, I've always had one foot here in the physical and the other in the spiritual. And it's true to this day. And I know that. And I understand that now. I didn't understand it back then, but I do now as I've gotten older and come to understand all of my psychic abilities and, coming to adapting to them, the different changes, what makes them different from the other, and so on. So, and one of my abilities is clairvoyance, which allow me to see the angels. And yes, I have actually seen a demon, and that's for another day. But, just to kind of, share with you all both about the times that I have felt protected, whether it's been by loved ones or angels or both. I want you to know that they are there. They're always there watching over you and doing their best to guide you. Your loved ones may not be able to do everything like a guardian angel and archangel can do. However, they're doing what they can, what they're allowed to do, and help guiding you in this life and watching over you. And, if you need help, they can call on the angels and bring them in for you, but ask for them to be there is my best advice. So please don't ever think that they're not watching over you and trying to help guide you in this life, because they are. So please remember that. I hate that anyone would ever have any doubts about that. So I hope that this video helps. I hope that it resonates in some way, or validates anything that you may have questions about or doubts about even. I hope that it has bring a great comfort to you. I hope that you can take away something from this, some kind of peace, knowing that, and hearing it from someone like me who has had those kinds of experiences that can tell you firsthand, what it's like, what I saw, you know, how it came to be, and so forth. So that's one of the reasons why I created this channel. You know, I also created this channel to do, to help people in multiple ways, to share my stories like this, but and also to provide guidance, and also even look at doing readings for people. And I'm gonna do that. I just haven't been able to get all my footing in the ground yet as far as getting set up, since I was like right in the middle of building a house and now moving into one, and I still got to unpack. And unfortunately, a lot of stuff in my house is heavy and requires a man to help me. So I'm waiting for my loved ones to come and help me put some of the furniture together in my house, and also unload some of these boxes because they're heavy. So I can't even move some of these boxes that are sitting behind me out of the way. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with you all, and to, tell y'all that, it's going to be okay. If you don't think that they're there, I just want you to know that they are. So I'm going to close it here, beautiful people. I hope that you have many blessings and much love in your life. I pray and I hope, and I'm sending you healing love, healing vibes, energy, and for you to be protected. I'm also wishing you all the love, happiness, joy, prosperity, abundance, and, great health. All the wonderful good things in this life that we all want for ourselves and for others. So I'm sending all of that your way. And so be good until next time.